Minister Ariel Sharon spoke today about withdrawing from Gaza and reaching an agreement with the Palestinians. This is just under half an hour.
Good evening, everybody. The last year, I presented here the guidelines of the disengagement plan. Prior to that, I pointed out the national objectives to which we have to strive for. That the obtaining of these objectives is confronting us in every action that we take. The disengagement plan was intended, among others, to obtain these objectives. I drew the manner in which I see the future of the State of Israel, a Jewish democratic state with a solid Jewish majority, which has equal opportunity among all of its citizens, a state which is the heart and soul of the Jewish people and constitutes an attraction for the Jews of the diaspora, a state that will absorb in the coming 15 years more than 1 million immigrants, in which will be the majority of the Jews live there, as a state that lives in peace with its neighbors and grants personal security to its citizens, an education system that will train the future generation to contend with the technological challenges of the future and expose it to the tradition of Israel, a state with infrastructure that are suitable for the 21st century, a train system, a road system that connects the entire nation, a system of purifying water, electricity produced by natural gas. All of these will improve our quality of life and will contribute to conserving the environment in which we live. And is a prosperous Israeli economy integrated in the international community, which grows by 4 to 5% per year, which will achieve the same GDP as the most advanced countries. A society which will open in front of everybody the opportunity to live in honor and economic prosperity, which has no economic gaps between the center and the periphery of the country. In the last year, since I stated these objectives, that Israel took a great step in the right direction, a great step to obtain this vision and hope. Everybody knows that in the last 4 years, we were forced to contend with 2 serious and parallel crises: the terrorist attack and the economic recession. We contended with international isolation and the increase in anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli feeling throughout the world, with the feeling of loss of hope among many in Israel. We had to, first of all, to reconstruct the faith in our ability to find solutions, immediate solutions, to prevent economic and security collapse, and thus we did. Thanks to the IDF soldiers' activities and operations and the security forces, we were able to block the terrorist organizations in a series of operations, and headed by Operation Shield and our determined operation in focused operations. We also had to have very heavy reductions in the budget, and we prevented a financial collapse. The reforms we have implemented and we are continuing to implement placed the economy of Israel in a new position. We can increase now our effort to attract new investments, to privatize government companies, and to integrate in the global economy. In order to be able to implement these essential reforms, we have to expand the national consensus in all of those areas. I am a great believer in an operation out of consensus, and we proved in the last few months in the agreement between the government and the Histadrut, the labor union, that it can be done. The more there is economic growth which continues and deepens, while we improve our security situation, we can invest more resources in the social arena and to help the weakest in the society. We are one nation and one society, and the values of social solidarity that characterize the people of Israel will continue to guide us in our actions. We invest today much more in the education system in order to improve the system and to place in it good instruction. We allocated this year 1.7 billion shekels to implement the Dovrat report, and we will start implementing it already this year. This year, we were told that the Israeli students have improved their achievements, but we shouldn't be satisfied with an achievement in the middle. Israel cannot be content with mediocrity, but should strive to be first in education and in excellence. This is the key to the future of the State of Israel. Therefore, its implementation of the Dovrat report will continue to be a central part of my agenda and of the government agenda headed by me. I am participating in this conference for already 5 years, and I'm trying to follow up with all the important things that are stated by the different speakers in this conference. I would like to tell you that, contrary to the previous years, this year I felt that most of the speakers expressed optimism. This feeling is a result of the actions we have taken in all areas. In the year 2005, we are confronting a historic opportunity to change the strategic situation of the State of Israel and to take great steps to implement our hopes. The State of Israel will be prosperous, open society in which there will be an excellent educational system with social justice, and will be a power in the world, and will be an attraction for thousands of Jews who will come here, and a source of pride to all of its citizens. The fact that we were able to contend with all of these crises is opening to the State of Israel for the first time an opportunity, important strategic opportunities that we must implement. The year 2005 will be the year of the great opportunity. In the year 2005, we have had the opportunity to get out of the recession and to begin a real economic growth that will bring about a decrease in unemployment and the reduction of the economic gaps in Israel. In 2005, we have the opportunity to have a new partnership with the international community, fighting terrorism and instability in our region. The world, and especially Europe, have understood now what we are contending with for many years. And we have, in 2005, a historic breakthrough, opportunity for a historic breakthrough in our relationship with the Palestinians. This breakthrough, which we are waiting for many years. In order to implement this opportunity, we have to take the initiative. And this is the time, this is the hour. Here is the national test. The most important initiative of Israel is the disengagement plan, leaving Gaza, which we will implement this year according to the timetable that was determined and with determination. This initiative is the cornerstone of the great opportunities confronting us, and the most important ones that we have achieved were given the last few years. The disengagement recognizes explicitly in the demographic reality that was created in the area. It is clear to everybody that in a settlement we will not be in the Gaza Strip. This recognition that we don't have anything to find there does not divide the nation and tear it up as the opposing minority states, but the contrary. The disengagement from Gaza unites the nation. It unites us in the objectives that we want to fight for, like Jerusalem, the large settlement blocks, the security areas, and guarding the character of Israel as a Jewish state, compared to other objectives that will not be obtained and that the majority of the public is not willing to sacrifice for. One of the objectives of the Arab terror was to divide the nation and to break its spirit, blocking the terrorism on the one side and the disengagement plan on the other hand, a plan that the majority of the public supports, strengthens the national unity and creates a national consensus about the right of this objective and our fight for peace. This has brought about many political fruits. Thanks to it, the Palestinians don't have any reason to use for leaving the terror, for abandoning terror. Thanks to it, there is no criticism of the state of Israel in its fight against terror. Now it is clear to everyone that when Israel declares its intention to make painful concessions, it intends for painful concessions, very painful concessions. The status of Israel in the international community has improved. The most important objective and an achievement is the understanding I have with the United States and President Bush for an understanding, strategic understanding between Israel and the U.S. This week we heard President Bush repeating and expressing his support in these understandings. The understanding I have with the President of the United States protect our essential interests, and foremost that there will not be a request for a retreat for the borders of 1967 and the large Israeli blocks of settlements will be in the hands of Israel, and the negation of the entry of Palestinians refugees to the state of Israel. In accordance with the roadmap, the implementation of all these steps requires an action by them against terror until this terror is defeated, to advance real reforms and stopping the education toward hatred toward Israel. The United States also recognized the right of Israel to act in any way to protect itself against any enemy and any threat, and promised to prevent any attempt to force on Israel any other settlement in any other agenda which is not the roadmap. and its implementation will be made in full agreement. We have open communication channels and continuing dialogue with the government of Egypt. We are looking forward for effective coordination with the Egyptian government during and after our disengagement from Gaza. Egypt will fulfill an important role while cooperating with us and will contribute to the stability in Gaza after Israel exits Gaza. Several days ago, Egypt took an important step to build the trust between us by releasing Azam. And I would like to express my thanks to the President of Egypt about it. This action by the Egyptians to avoid smuggling of weapons through their channels in Delphi will ensure a more peaceful exit from Gaza, stopping the armoring of the Palestinians in Gaza. By stopping the smuggling to Gaza will allow Israel to exit also the Philadelphia axis and will reduce the terrorist activities in Israel. The greatest opportunity to build new relationship with the Palestinians was created by the death of Yasser Arafat, who was the principal obstacle for peace. Now there is a real chance that there will be new Palestinian leaders that will be elected in elections, will abandon terror, and will advance a strategy of reconciliation without violence, hatred, and terrorism. We hope that the Palestinians will learn and will hold peaceful elections. We, on our part, will take all the required steps to assist to allow for free movement. The IDF will be ready in a different manner so these elections could be held peacefully. We are taking steps to coordinate security and administrative matters in order to allow for free elections while guarding peace and security and avoiding terror. In light of the new opportunities and the potential for new Palestinian leadership, Israel will be willing to coordinate different problems regarding our disengagement plan with a future Palestinian state, a state that will be willing and ready to take responsibility for the areas which we will evacuate. If this will happen, we have a real chance to achieve a settlement and in the future a real peace. We can reach a situation that terror will stop being such a threat on the citizens of Israel. For the first time since the establishment of the State of Israel, we can live peacefully, to develop our economy without threat, and to invest more in the economy, in health and in welfare. The Palestinians, on their part, could live honorably in an independent state and to enjoy good neighborly relationship while cooperating for the benefit of both nations. The vision of two states allows for each side to make concessions. We took a historic decision that we are willing for this concession. I emphasize this, not any concession in any way on any matter that is connected to the security of the people of Israel and the State of Israel. In this area, we will have no concession, not now and not in the future. Because the alternative of one state, that one nation rules another, will be a catastrophe for the two nations. Only this way we will be able to grant a real hope to our people. The year 2005 is the year of the great opportunity. It could be a year of defeating terror and foiling this threat and the threat on the peace. This can be the year that we will start the foundations for an Israeli-Palestinian foundation for the coming years. We will act so that this year of opportunity will not be a year of missing this objective. We have to remember that there are other factors in this region that are acting to foil this settlement and to continue with the terror. The threats to the state of Israel have not disappeared. Iran is publicly calling for the destruction of the state of Israel and continues its efforts to armor itself with weapons of mass destruction. Along with Syria, it supports dangerous terrorist organizations like Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Islamic Jihad, and it's acting to foil the American efforts to bring about reforms and democracy in the Middle East. Israel, to the moderate Arab states and to the world itself, there is a common interest to support the stability of this region, to defeat terror and the threat on its threat. The history teaches us that only determination and not accepting the situation will be the real challenge for the stability of this region. On the eve of, I appealed to our Arab nations. Many things happened since then, and I want to repeat today my call. We are confronting today a very unique opportunity, window of opportunity. Who knows when we can have this window of opportunity in the future? We shouldn't miss this opportunity to reach a settlement. We are forced to protect ourselves against terror, and we can do it successfully. But by extending our hand to peace, we will continue to extend our hand in peace. We want to live side by side in understanding and in peace. We do not want to rule you, and we do not want to rule your lives. Lately, we made the historic decision that this is our desire. I paid a personal and political price for this, and you all know that. I hope and wish that in the coming months you will make this historic decision to stop terror and to find with us the path in which the two nations could live together in security and in peace. I believe that we can achieve it. Thank you very much.
ראש הממשלה אריאל שרון מסיים כן את נאומו הגדול בכנס הרצליה.